up to 242 oscillators, 15 LFOs with 3 targets each, 16 bandpass filters, XY pads all over the place. This is ein Haufen Obertöne, my new Drambo drone rack, and I'll walk you through it. So when you open it, it's a Drambo project file. You're presented with this view. Right now it's set to be tuned in Hertz. If you open this slider, you get this, and you can also double click and set a precise frequency, or you can tune by note. If you open this here, change the switch, pick a note, and you have a couple of octaves to choose from. So then the other sliders bring in harmonics. And if you close the levels tab, you can open the LFOs tab. And with the tremolo, you can bring in oscillators even if they're all the way down. So let's take the fourth one. Tremolo, and maybe give the seventh one some auto pan. And then if you open the odd versus even tab, this XY pad can mix between the odd and the even harmonics. So all the way up here you only hear the even ones you've set, down here only the odd ones, and you can fade between them, which can be a nice, relatively subtle effect. Then there's the unison tab. Well, you can go up to 16, that's how I came to 242 oscillators, the main one, then 16 times 15 if you would go all the way up with the unison, and then the FM oscillator that comes in a moment. Well, just a little bit of detune probably is the nicest. Okay, then what you hear now can be the modulator for an FM oscillator too, if you bring it in here. So this is just the FM oscillator. On the x-axis you have the ratio, and on the y-axis the FM amount. Mix it back in. Okay, and then there are effects. Right now you don't hear them at all, because here's another dry wet XY pad, and that one brings in the effects. The first one is a filter bank. The way it's set right now, it's 16 bandpass filters, each in parallel, and on the x-axis you set the central frequency, and on the y-axis the spacing between the filters and also the resonance. After that comes a comb filter, and after that a distortion model. And the distortion XY pad houses 4 different kinds of distortions. The bottom row is sample rate reduction, and on the y-axis, if you stay in the bottom row, you have dry wet for that sample rate reduction. Second row, analog style saturation, Hertz style. Gives you kind of mid-rangey, buzzy sounds. And the top one, rather harsh ones. Yeah. Different kinds of reverb types, and again the height in the row determines the dry wet. The bottom one and the x-axis has a high pass filter, so the further left the more low end gets into the reverb. And the bottom two are kind of long washy ones. Top two spring reverbs. Yeah, and in the end, I have a bit of a hearsay because it can get rather loud, and well, quite a couple of the XY pads can make quite a volume difference. All the mix ones, because well, if you go to the corner, they're all the way off. Yeah, and it can get rather loud on the other direction. And yeah, the distortion model, of course. Then if there's some feedback with the filter bank and the combs, that can get rather loud. Yeah, but yeah, I've played with hours just for hours just with this, and hasn't gotten boring yet. It's not only for drones. If you go all the way wet, you can get gong-like sounds. All kinds of cool noises. Well, if you've made it so far, thank you very much. Download it if you like. On patch storage. Have fun.